Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck profile. We're here today with some PePe Draco Slayer deck, and this is another Draco Slayer or Performer Pal variant that surprised me with how powerful it is and just how strong it is. And again, this just goes and reflects that when the ban list comes around and this deck gets hit, it can still be playable because there's just so many different things that you can just throw in here. So I'll just go straight into the deck profile. We're running for our Draco Slayer engine, 2 Master Pendulum, 2 Vector Pendulum. We're not running the other guy because I like to have him as a normal monster because it means that we have a lot of different monsters, a lot of specifically Pendulum monsters that can be searched with Painful Decision. And then we of course have the 1 Luster Pendulum that we want to get to. He's only 5 scale out of them, which is a little bit annoying. If you want another 5 scale, maybe do 1 Vector and then 1, I think it's Rector is the other one, I don't know. And then for the Performer Pal engine, we're running of course 1 Monkey Board, 1 Joker, and then 3 Wizard, 2 Lizard Draw, and then 2 Guyu Turtle. So a lot of draw power, a lot of search power, a lot of destruction power, so you can replace these scares, and a lot of search power. And then for our Performance engine, we're running 2 Trick Clown, and that's it for our Performance engine. But it does have support cards. We're running the 2 Brilliant Fusion, so that way we can search him, and of course Foolish Burial, and then 2 Gigabyte, who can summon himself out if he controls spellcasters such as Wizard or Trick Clown. So there's that, and of course the 2 Gemini Garnets. And then other cards, well, this I think is the last real monster, if you think Maxi is a monster. Is Angel Trumpeter. It's just a level 4 normal tuner that can be searched with Painful Decision, so it's pretty easy to get to. It's Earth, so if you have like a level 1 in here, you could make Naturia Beast, or if you do want to use Maxi like a monster and not like how you should and use it as a hand trap, you can make Naturia Beast, which wouldn't do much as format because everything is a counter trap, and Naturia Beast can negate counter traps. But then yeah, and then we have Maxi, just more draw power, just even if you're only drawing 1 card, or even if you don't know cards, it's just if your opponent doesn't special summon, that makes it a lot easier for you. And yeah, that's it for the monsters. And again, this deck surprises me with how well it can just make stuff and just continuously make rank 4s. I mean, having Trick Clown is honestly just really nice in general because he's a 1 card XYZ. Once per turn, you can make another XYZ for just just another monster, and I just like them about that. Of course, with Gigabyte, you can just get out another free XZ. If you can get out 2, you can detach. If you can get out 2 level 4s, you can detach the Trick Clown, search out a Gigabyte, summon out the Trick Clown, and then summon out the Gigabyte through a spell summon effect, and then make another rank 4, and now you have more monsters. You probably now have like 43 damage on board, like if you summoned out a Castell, it depends on what you summoned out. And so that's just overall really nice. I really like that about this deck and how it just can make rank 4s, and of course also make level 8 synchros. I mean, we're running Cyframe Omega, which can just be annoying as hell against your opponent, just getting rid of 1 card from their hand, or you can use him to make that, did I almost say Dinoster? No, this is Dinoster. You can use him to make Ignister. So yeah, so onto the spell cards. Like I said, we're running triple Painful Decision. It's the Rota of the deck. It actually gets rid of 2 cards from your deck, which is something I really like, is it's just not just 1 deck thing, it's better than a Rota, pretty much. And then besides that, we have the 2 Instant Fusion, and then the 1 Foolish Burial, like I said again, for Trick Clown, and then 1 Draco Face Off. It does mess with Painful Decision, because if you have like 1 Master Pendulum in your hand, you don't want to activate Painful Decision to search out the Draco Ruler, because, well, then you can't use Draco Face Off. So most of the time, I will admit, with Painful Decision, you will probably be searching out Ancient Trumpeter, but that's honestly not a bad idea because of the fact that it's a level 4 tuner, and dumping a level 4 tuner is really nice because, again, we're running 2 Instant Fusion. Well, granted, we only have 1 real target. Having a level 4 tuner in your graveyard for Norton to just summon out is pretty decent, because I mean, if you don't want to run him, or if you want to run more level 8 synchros, that can just be a giant toolbox. And then 2 Twin Twister, of course. The targets that you want to discard are Trick Clown, or like a Garnet, or this guy. You could also discard this guy, because of course you can just summon him back out with Dinoster. And then of course, like I said, 2 Brilliant Fusion from your deck, and then summons out this lady. And then she will get you an extra normal summon. You don't really use it too much, but it's nonetheless really nice to have, because if you do draw into another monster, or like maybe you go off with your Pendulum Summon and you do everything and then you activate Lizard Draw and then you draw into another monster, hey, not a bad idea. And then of course rounding it out with 4 Psalms. If you don't like this card, or if you want to be even more aggressive, I say take this card out, put in Soul Church, put in Call of the Haunted, because of course Trick Clown costing 1,000 life, Instant Fusion being a thing, it can get pricey. And so if you want to be more aggressive and not focus on stopping your opponent, then yeah, go ahead and take this card out. Like put in Upstart, maybe put in 1 card of Demise. There's just a variety of different things that you could put in. So, but nonetheless, I actually like this in the deck. I mean, it does make the deck way more expensive, but nonetheless, pretty nice. Just being able to stop a lot of your opponent plays. I mean, if you make a decent field, if you make something like Utopia the Lightning, or if you make, I don't know, King of the Feral Imps, or like a 101, and then they go for their Pendulum Summon, or they go for whatever, being able to negate it is pretty nice. And then, so that is it for the main deck. Again, it's all about making rank 4s. You're just trying to Pendulum Summon, destroy. Like, you really want to see a Wizard. Again, that's why we're running him at 30. But again, you also want to see your other, like your Draco Slayers. They're very important to see, so that way you can make Dinoster, who will just protect your scales. So it's just really nice. So onto the extra deck, we have Dinoster. He'll protect pendulums, pendulum monsters, pendulum cards in the pendulum zone, and of course we'll summon a Draco Slayer pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard, which is again very useful if you did draw into one after like on a Lizard Draw. Very useful just to plop them down on the field from this guy's effect, or summon one that you sent to the graveyard because you XC summoned with it. Again, another 1 card XYZ summon pretty much. 2 Jeff Dim Knights have from Knight. I think I butchered that. If you want to put her down to 1, I'd still recommend keeping 2 Brilliant Fusion, because you do want to see this card. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it would allow for more stuff in the X deck, more level 8 synchros, more rank 4s or whatever. But Gem Knight's Free Knight is definitely really nice, because she's just a shit all construct. I mean, that's honestly the only reason we're even playing her, is so that way we can get to Trick Clown. 1 Norden. To summon out a level 4 lower from your graveyard. Ignister, get rid of anything, pretty much. Just say goodbye to whatever is on the field. And of course, can summon out a Draco Slayer, so you can go off from there, make Dinoster, summon out something from your graveyard. So a lot of different combos with him. Aside from Omega, will, during either player's turn, banish a card from your opponent's hand face up. And then during your standby phase, it will return himself from being banished and the card that was banished to where they were. And then Utopia the Lightning, it's an Almaty's, 2,500 Almaty's, and you make him by XYZ summoning on top of a Utopia, and he can make his attack 5,000, so that's definitely really strong. He runs over anything, he's great against Cosmos, and he's honestly the reason why we're running Dagesta Emerald, because I don't feel like running 2 of him and 2 Utopias, because that would just be too much room. But you definitely might need to make them again later in the game, and so Dagesta Emerald is just really nice. Again, if you can, there's a lot of 1 card XYZ combos in here, so if you like detach a Trick Clown, all you need is 1 more monster and you could use him again. And then Dark Rebellion, he's just a nice, I like Dark Rebellion because being able to increase his attack. I mean, against Cosmos, he tends not to be that strong of a card, but against a lot of decks, if you're facing Monarchs or if you're facing another Draco Slayer or another Performer Pal deck, he's just really nice. Just increasing his attack does 25 if he attacks into the monster he have, and so it's just overall really nice. It really helps push for games, especially if you can make like a Utopia the Lightning on top of him. And then King of the Feral Imps will search out a Lizard Draw or Gigabytes. So honestly, that's really nice, because if you do have like some sort of way to make Gigabyte, or make a King of the Feral Imps, and like let's say you open up with Brilliant Fusion and I'm not sure, Angel Trumpeteer. Let's just say Angel Trumpeteer. You could just dump that, summon out him, and then be able to search out this Lizard Draw. And then if you had something like Blue Turtle or some other card, like if you open up with Brilliant Fusion, Vector, and Master Pendulum, you don't have a scale, but you can search and get the other card you need to have a scale, which is pretty nice, having a searchable scale. And then 101 will get rid of a lot of things. Castell will get rid of a lot of things. Master Pendulum will, of course, I use him a lot to extend my Draco Slayer combos to summon out a Draco Slayer from the extra deck that's face up in the extra deck. And of course, during the end phase, you get to search out for any pendulum in your deck, which is pretty nice. You can get to your Jokers, you can get to your Perform Power Wizards, or whatever you need to get to. So he's definitely very useful, but he is a little bit slow because, again, you search out during the end phase. And then, like I said, Dagger's Admiral, he's meant to return our extra deck to or extra deck monsters to the extra deck, so that way we can remake them. He's also pretty nice in being able to return cards like Joker. Don't be afraid to XZ summon with him, because after you normal summon with him, there's no point in letting him keep on hitting the extra deck. So just use him for an XZ summon, and then maybe there'll be a point where you can return Utopia the Lightning, and Skullcrobat Joker to your deck, and that will be honestly pretty nice, just being able to draw into Joker again, even if you've already used one keyboard. I mean, he's a searcher. He's a Deneb, so he'll always be good. A Stratos, whatever you want to call it. And then Abystrel, of course, here, because Burning Abyss is still a thing. And you could also make it against some Monarchs and try to poop on their graveyard as well. Or you could make it against another Draco Slayer variant if they're running a lot of, if they're running cards like Trick Clown. So of course Abystrel has uses, but it's not the most important card. If you don't feel like you're going to see a lot of Burning Abyss, then don't run this card. Just don't. Put something else in. Like, honestly, Scarlight, Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight is a card that I was really thinking about putting in here against Omega. Like, Omega's nice, being able to return a card from the extra deck when it leaves the field. You can keep on making him. Getting rid of cards, seeing your opponent's hand, like, it gives you a lot of knowledge, and it can really mess with your opponent, especially if they're running like a Pendulum deck, where you need at least 3 cards to get off a Pendulum Summon. Omega's definitely very nice in getting rid of 1 card from their hand. Even if it's random, it's nonetheless really nice. So, but then again, Scarlight inflicts damage, blows up the field. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and I've heard that Stardust Dragon is pretty nice to make, because, again, Twin Twister's a thing. So, there's a lot of different things that you could do with this deck. And it's just that there's just not enough room, because there's a 15-card limit with the extra deck. Why isn't it 20? It needs to be increased to 20. Like, comment down below if you think that the extra deck should be increased to 20. Yeah. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.